Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FMLFPL. Okay! Welcome to the Will Be Alon.
This whole
What's up, dude?
What's up, dog?
We're back, baby.
Yeah, pod.
Truly back after today.
Finally back.
You are on 7 straight greens, looking good. You got your smile back. You got your shine back. What's going on over there?
I'm on that Michelob Ultra low carb life tonight.
Oh my god! Usually you're a Bud Heavy guy. What made?
I don't know. I keep seeing. I think the advertisements are seeping into my skull of just like two carbs.
That's why they do them.
Oh my god!
That's why they do the ads.
Fucking on the sheep. It works. 62. I had basically 3 players on my whole team return: Trent, Mo, and Captain Kane. Everyone else got like a point. I mean, I'm disrespecting Keenan Davis. I apologize to you, Keenan, and your family.
And Diaz.
Keenan Davis. Oh, yeah, well, whatever.
The robot.
He's automatic, yeah. Keenan Davis, slowly becoming one of my favorite players in the league.
He's very lore-based. Like,
I've had him all year. I think I've probably owned him more than any other player.
Or something, yeah.
And he came off third off the bench, knew it was his time to be called, finally got more than like 8 minutes, and he was amazing. He's actually good. He's
Getting
an actually really good
from
player.
Your third on the bench player is so rare. That's a unicorn player right there.
I mean, I got 11 players out, even though 2 of them were Mendy and Aspil, who both got 0. So whatever. And then 3 of them got 1 point. Son, Antonio, and Soupy.
Yeah, Son and Antonio both played 45 or less.
Yeah, none of it really was painful because Keenan got the assist and was just fantastic for 20 minutes. And, you know, it's just, I loved watching him in those 20 minutes. It was my favorite thing of the game week, maybe one of my favorite things of the season. How about you? How
you must have been slightly torn, though, because you're also a Fulham Ultra. Or is there none?
Well, I mean, Fulham, it would have been worse if it was like the late thing. Like, it was just such a fucking catastrophe of collapsing by Fulham. Yeah, I was like, it doesn't matter. The game's gone. Yeah, so that makes sense. It's funny. I mean, obviously, I enjoy watching Fulham, but I just want Newcastle to go down so much more. Like, I could give a fuck about Fulham. I just want Newcastle to go down, and it's just like that was a tough one for Fulham. But but Keenan Davis, good player. How about you? How'd you look this weekend?
I got 60, but I took a hit, so 56. My hit was an utter disaster. I -4'd in Son and Alonso, which ended up being like a -13 or something because I ended up putting Lingard second on my bench behind Antonio, who got 1 point. Lingard got 12 points. Disaster.
Fucking hard. That's painful.
Yeah, disaster. It would have felt a little more okay if Antonio lasted 80 minutes and had some more chances and stuff, but the fact that he just comes off in terms of like, well, fuck all of life. I didn't factor in the Semedo effect, for Jesse, so that was like a nailed-on double-digit haul up against Semedo. That's just how it goes.
Actually insane.
It's ridiculous. Like, he's too big to fail at this point. Like, I can't. I'm on Wildcard. I popped it already. I can't not consider him. He returns 1 billion points every week, and he also looks so good. Yeah. And his stats are good. It's everything. Yeah. It's not one of the things. Yep. Same Diaz. Alonso got me 3. Great. Conceded fucking 5 goals to
10 goals.
And he was at fault for like 3 of them at least. Or played a part in 3 of them at least.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Mo, patience, felt really good. A lot of people don't own Mo, which is really weird. Yeah. It's like 30% owned or something in the top 10K. 29% overall.
It's got to be his lowest mark in some time.
Yeah, cheeky little Meg on Leno felt great. So yeah, it's okay. I'm still on a green. And I've almost cracked a mil.
You're on Wildcard,
and I'm on Wildcard. So that's a whole nother thing, And Captain Kane, we both said it last pod. We both said it in our lineup thing too. Like, this wasn't the week to go off Kane. it was just too good and too obvious, and he responds with a 13-pointer and easily could have had a hat trick too. Over 2 XG, just a monster performance from him. Yeah. So good.
Yep, good.
League updates. Shout out to the 3 FMLPL Prize League Mug League leaders for April so far. After 1 game week, Jamie O'Leary, aka Barry the Match It, Cameron Ye, aka Firmino Dentistry, and Sam Bass, aka Struick of Genius. And the leader of the FMLPL Public League, still Louise, nom nom nom, as always, and probably will forever be. Where to begin, bro?
A lot of fun games this weekend.
The football
threw me for a loop this weekend.
It felt not COVID-y for the first time since COVID.
Yeah.
Like teams.
It was vibrant.
There were tons of goals. There
Up and down games.
Tons of highlights and pressing. And
every game was fun.
Pretty much, yeah.
Every single game was fun.
Yeah, honestly, like City, probably the worst game. Because they were just so dominant, Leicester didn't do anything.
Non-competitive game.
And it was still a 2-0, Great games.
Okay, yeah.
Good. Rests are
good. Let's just start with your wild card, though. Let's get in there.
So talk to me. Interview me about it. What do you think?
Well, what is it? You haven't told me anything.
Well, I don't know anything. It's been
who do you fucking have?
48
what are you talking
hours.
About, dude?
Well, we can talk about who's nailed, I guess, to start.
Let's start there.
Kane is very obvious. Jota is very obvious. Trent is very obvious. Diaz, probably Mo, probably Aspil. As far as who's nailed, that's probably it.
Okay.
Yeah. The other spots are like, it comes down to like, what do I want to do with City?
Yeah, what do you want to do with City? That was my first question.
I feel pretty good about Diaz, Stones, and an attacker. Okay. I feel like okay with that, but Pep himself, Pep is always rotating and Owen always rouletting, and then when he comes out and says that he's gonna like rotate and no player safe, it's just like I don't even know, like to add it into the cast, or does that cancel each other out and it'll be more normal? I don't know. He's everything is about fresh legs. Next game we're gonna play fresh legs against Leeds more than ever. Fresh legs. So I don't fucking know. So maybe I'll just choose
Delap in.
Yeah, like whoever doesn't play in Champions League tomorrow, I guess I'm captaining against Leeds. Like semi seriously. So that leaves Mahrez or whoever doesn't start open to a possibility. Mahrez, I have considered. I would just have to have
definitely worth considering.
Deep good bench, and that's really easy to do.
Yeah.
I was fucking around with Cresswell with Rice out. I really don't feel good about it. So
yeah, I think that's a stay away.
Yeah, I'm between 4 or 5 at the back with Trent, 2-ish City, Aspil, something like that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do with keeper yet. It's the last thing I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
And then, if I want a second forward or if I want to go 5 mids, like, do I want Rafinha first on the bench? I've honestly looked at Vardy, which I know you won't like, but I think is worth considering.
Yeah.
Bruno, etc. It doesn't really get me going at this point, and nothing that they did today, or was that yesterday? Yesterday, like, made me want Bruno or Manchester United attackers.
Easy stay away from Bruno, I think.
Yeah, especially with Paul back, we know what that does. And Paul was great, but
option?
Yeah, I mean, dude, Redders.
Hey.
I thought about you when I was fucking Redders time. I was like, oh my god, it's towards the end of the season.
Going fucking nuts. They could have scored 6 goals in that game.
The thing is, have you looked at their fixtures?
Yeah, they're bad.
They're worse than bad. Oh, and they have West Brom this week. So, like,
they're blank and horrible fixtures.
In the back of, the blank makes them worse than bad. That's why I threw in a worse than bad. But
they're very bad.
There is a world where, like, my 5th midfielder is Redders or something, and I start him this week. Yeah. But that's, like, the max that I would consider Southampton, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's like Ings is like, Ings was looking Ingsy.
So good.
Yeah,
he was so good.
But the fixtures are tough.
At West Brom, for those who don't have it open, it's at West Brom, at Spurs, blank, home Leicester, at Liverpool, home Fulham, and then home Leeds, the next and only good fixture after West Brom for the rest of the season.
Can I just pause for a sec?
Yes, please pause.
I think that we need to do that more on the pod. Like,
do what more?
Like, I'm sitting here, obviously, we're talking about Southampton. Like, I open it, I'm clicking the thing, I see the fixture, like, they're bad. But we don't, like, say like, what they are, like, ever.
I think, no, you're right. You're right. I think it's because
like,
our brains
they're bad. Like, I don't know what they are.
Move faster than we're capable of speaking. And we get really worked up and excited, and we're just like, yeah, and it is, and the fixtures are bad, and like Redders, and I don't know Redders, and like Fayo back in is good, and then we just like leave out all the shit.
But people are listening; they're not sitting on their computer opening up in real time. Yeah, basically,
we need to like, it's like people driving. It's like, okay, so the pictures are bad, like, I guess. Yeah, it's a good point. We just need to breathe more. That's it. But
whatever. This is new pod, dude. We haven't been podding for that long. We're growing. Right?
Yeah, we're a new pod. Give us a subscribe and rate us on iTunes.
Subscribe,
like and subscribe,
or review.
Rate and review on iTunes. It really helps new listeners find us. Along with considering Vardy, I'm considering Maddo.
Not
Louise
Maddo.
Louise just got knee surgery, so I'm considering like a cheeky like holding fifth defender because their fixtures are exceptionally good. For the rest of the season, especially for clean sheets. Like, basically, all of them are good, though, for Arsenal. So, Leno, as far as keepers, I have considered Leno because...
Okay. I mean, I support that.
Well, first of all, like,
biggest Leno
picking a keeper
ever.
For short term is like a fucking joke. Funny. It's an absolute piss take, and it's complete luck. Here's the thing.
Schmeichs is considerable.
I want a team that concedes a lot of shots, but has good fixtures, and Arsenal... do both.
They fit that bill. Okay.
So, like, I'm hoping that, in the games where they don't clean, he could get me, like, an Emmy 4-pointer, and I'm hoping that they do clean some of their really good fixtures and he can get some stuff, but I don't know. Yeah, I haven't thought much about keeper, but that's most of what I'm thinking about. I mean, I've considered, like, a double Liverpool at the back, but I think Mo and Jota are just too good.
Yeah, I think that Robbo versus second attacker is a tough call.
It's interesting, yeah.
Because Jota's still not necessarily, he comes off the bench and scores a brace. Like, okay, cool, but you know what you're going to get with Robbo. If you feel like if you're bullish on because the fixtures are ridiculous. I mean, if you're bullish on the clean sheets, then I could see a very, very clear world where Robbo outscores Jota from here until the run until then.
Yeah, and it's one of those that seems absolutely crazy. Like, he's going to triple rise this week. Everyone in the world's going to be on him. He's going to be 60% owned at the top 10K or whatever, and I might not get him on Wildcard, but, I should consider it. I honestly should. And then Lingard, I didn't mention also. Like,
Lingard?
I've had Lingard, and I was planning on getting... I fucking benched him. I was planning on getting rid of them, obviously, but, like, fuck,
I'm worried about West Ham.
Yeah, Lingard.
I'm very worried about West Ham. I think they're going to just start losing games.
Yeah, but if Lingard keeps fucking double returning, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Jota versus Robbo, I think, is something to think about.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I mean, it sounds like you've got pretty much, kind of what I would expect. I think the City,
City
gambling on the City
is probably the hardest call of
I don't like the Stones option now. Why? I think at this point it's like I think it's time to go for it because they're going to be in non-competitive games and Stones is playing every other. And I get you cover with a deep bench, blah blah blah. But you don't want to be playing. You don't want to be relying on like Rafinha off the bench and bad fixtures or whomever else in that. Yeah, like Redders off the bench and bad fixtures. When you could have fun with like Kev and Mahrez or Kuhn or Jesus.
What
I
was thinking is that like the games he starts, he basically scores points between like 6 and 12,
and 9,
because he has a lot of attacking returns. And the game he doesn't start, he never ever subbed on. He hasn't subbed on once this season.
Yeah.
So if you average those out with, even if I just get a Rafinha 2 or 3 pointer every time, that's still really good.
Yeah, it's good. It's like 4 points per game. 5
I don't know. A lot of it'll be like also how much money I actually do have. Because like Rafinha is good, but their fixtures are so bad. Maybe my last bench guy is going to be like Lingard, and or my first bench guy rather, and then it's like, okay, that's good. Okay. But that's basically where I was at most recently.
Okay, no, I like it. Sounds good.
Okay, cool. Let's just go straight to Liverpool questions. We got 2 questions. Chester said, how are we feeling about pool defense? Center back pairing finally solidified. If we don't have the funds for Trent and Robbo or Kabak or Phillips, worth a shout. Pool fixtures look delicious through the season end. And Jack said, the vibe amongst wildcarders is to triple up Liverpool. Is that too early after one good match?
I mean, yeah, no, obviously not. But I mean, we also didn't mention Phillips. He's 4. That's not like ridiculous to think about.
Yeah. I think he's looking like price rising soon. I've obviously kept an eye on the farm and tending to the crops.
Farming.
I mean, he's 4, and him and Kabak are going to start every game for the rest of the season.
They should.
So that's fucking free, basically.
I mean, the thing with Phillips that you're accepting is that it's either 6 or
2. Yeah,
that's it. I mean, they're nowhere near it on set pieces. They probably won't score a set piece goal for the rest of the season. Indirect, that is.
I know, right?
And he's just not going to get bonus points. So, I mean, he's fucking 4 million. But then it comes back to the question of taking up that spot because Mo's always doing the things. Jota's coming into the 4. Trent, Robbo. I mean, there's a lot of good options. But I do like the idea of getting Nat in if that fits a spot and you like the rest of your guys and the things line up for it. I mean,
if it's like Nat, like we were just talking about Robbo versus Jota, like Nat versus Jota, and then that much extra money for who does that give me for my 4th midfielder or something? Like, is that the difference between like Mahrez and Kev? Like, that's a pretty fucking huge difference.
Yeah. And I mean,
considering
Robbo's honestly just looked bad for months. Yeah. And he's not getting attacking returns, and he hasn't looked like too close to getting attacking returns. So maybe, I mean, that 3 million's a lot of million. Maybe that's just the thing,
Yeah, it's a ton.
Maybe that's not just, he's just not worth it,
Yeah. No,
I think it's
early
maybe
part
it's
of
like
the season when he was
one.
like winger.
Yeah, and he was putting a lot of balls in. He's shooting, like missing, like good job. I feel like Robbo's like one of those where it's like the historical like bias of he's just always a really good eye test, like looks and seems like a good option. And
I mean he was fucking amazing versus Arsenal, not attacking wise, but like defensively and running and
we're not
passing
here for,
and that's
none of those things get us fantasy points.
Totally. But I'm saying that's where like part of that feeds the bias because it's like he's still having good games even if it's not in a FPL sort of way.
Yeah, but I mean, he's at 12 assists the last 2 seasons. He's only on 5 right now, and he's been a bit off it. Frankly, just that's the only way you can really put it. And he's been logging a lot of minutes. The last few seasons, maybe it's just the legs are getting up to him. He's
that's
3,000 coming on 3,000 plus all the international with Scotland and everything. He's just
that's what I was going to say for this week. Like that was obviously a planned sub. You see Tierney pull up with a muscle injury and Robbo come off on 60. Like they started and played 90 in every match together. That was clearly a thing.
Yeah.
So
I think, but I mean, at the baseline, it's 3 Liverpool looks pretty smart at this point, and the fixtures are really good. They need to basically win every game if they want to try and get on ahead of Chelsea from now to the end of the season, and they very well could.
Not just Chelsea, is West Ham, Spurs are ahead of them right now too.
Whatever, but I mean, I don't. Yeah, so it's. Yeah, it looks like a good time to stock to lump in, and
the thing is
similar to City. It's tough though. Which ones you get? I don't know.
It's like everyone talks about the center back partnership, and like obviously stability is good, and Nat and Kabak are playing well, but we said it after the Leipzig game. The most important thing by far is moving Fabinho back into midfield.
Yeah,
because the Fabinho and that also pushes Thiago into his more comfortable role. That dominance in midfield is what's getting the cleans more than like the partnership are as good as VVD and Gomez or something. It's like the team is functioning the way it's supposed to all of a sudden, and that's really why. Just wanted to say that.
No, that's a good point, and it's very true. So Liverpool look good to invest in. Mane though still probably nowhere near it with Jota, just 5 million less. So
Mane is just having a season.
Yeah, he's having
hell.
a rough one.
Like he just can't finish.
Yeah, but I mean, Mo, Jota, Trent is chalk right now.
That's chalk.
For sure. Yeah. So, okay. I mean, Trent's been...
It's
I'm so
really
happy
hard.
I got Trent back, dude. He's been so good for me.
Dude, I mean, he's looked...
I don't know so much, man.
Point it was in the season, maybe game week 20 or something, but like, it took a while. He was so bad at the start of the season, but he's been getting better and better.
Every game he's back.
Lately, he's just been fucking amazing. Yeah, he's been so good.
I hope he's 7 next year. That'd be great.
I mean, what's the argument for not Jota? Is that like sometimes he won't start?
Yeah,
it's just his,
and that the cleans, like, you know, it's still. I think it comes back to if you feel like their cleans are going to be just rolling in because they're just going to be fucking teams sideways because the fixtures are so bad that, you know, I still. So I mean, I always think about that. Like, you start with a clean sheet, like you don't start with goal and assist points. Yes. So. I mean, do you think Jota's going to outpace the cleans? Like, it's coming back to like the Gundo thing, and you know, maybe, but it's just less certain to me. But I don't think that Liverpool's defense.
It's the money, right? It's outpace the cleans plus 3.5 million.
Yeah, if you're looking at him versus Nat,
because that's a lot. That's how many? Like, I don't know the conversion of like 0.5 million to how many points I would want a player to get, but it's a fucking lot.
And and then it's also, you know, I mean, I haven't been tinkering, but like that, like Jota versus who else is in the price bracket or the other mids, who does that get you versus the defender? Like, there's so many different components of the equation there, but I feel like it's probably at this point based on how good Jota looks and how he does genuinely look like scoring every time he plays a game. He basically has done. So I think it is probably overthinking it not to get him.
BB towards the box. Every fucking second he's on the pitch is just like, I'm gonna go score.
Yeah,
it's just
crazy. I mean, he's great. I mean, I started the season with him for a reason. It worked out great for me. So maybe it's time to go full circle there, Jota.
I was looking at him on FB Ref, and they have their comparable player things. That's just purely based off stats, nothing to do with the team and everything.
Off to those comparisons.
It's just funny because the number 1 and number 2 are Mane and Mo. And it's just like
it should be Neto and
it's just like Liverpool Adama. Just have a type, man. Just get really good guys. Okay. So there's a Spurs double. We didn't get to Friday Night Live because I was ill, but there's a Spurs double in Game Week 32 announced. Everton and Southampton, Palace blank in 32. A bunch of the other teams that were blanking now have games in 32. We got some Spurs questions. Balfsky, any other Spurs players other than Kane and Son you'd want on Wildcard? Bug replied, do you even want Son on Wildcard? Shut up, Luke. Is doubling Kane and Son too much and expensive for a relatively negative team? And then Tio and Jeff were asking thoughts on just benching Son this week.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, they have a double and tasty fixtures coming up, so you don't want to drop him, but United versus the traditional top 6 is always super low scoring. And they said they're both choosing between Son and Rafinha, which is not great choice to make. I mean,
if that's the question, then I would still start Son because I
wouldn't start fucking Van Persie versus City over Son versus Man United. Honestly, like,
I mean, Man United still have Lindelof and fucking Slab and center back. Like, he could always still get behind, you know. I do think that you have to consider a lot about your chips and the context of your team because they have a double, but then they blank immediately afterwards. So, you know, you can't look at it of just like, oh, double and then everything's great. It's like, no, actually, that's not what's happening. You know, if you have 2 dead bench players, like they don't have a double, you know, you want to have Kane, obviously, for the captain. That's just no question about it.
No question. And let me just interject for those that were asking last week about their triple caps. That's done and sorted for you. Kane has a double in Game Week 32. That's just no consideration.
Yeah, that's definitely the best option to go with if you sell your triple cap. But, you know, so you have to look at that. You know, if you think that, and they do have 2 really good fixtures off the back of the blank. They have, you know, Leeds and Sheffield. Since people, we just covered this 15 minutes ago, that people are not live clicking as they're watching. So after the blank, they have home Sheffield at Leeds. So that's a good job for them. But as we keep watching this team play, I trust them almost as little as I trust Man United about what they're going to do and what the performance is going to look like. Because I don't really, you know, you're the XG man. I'm not the X chain G FB ref man, but I don't know how they clocked so many X goals in that game because they did not look good to me against Newcastle at all.
Yeah, the thing with the XG, with the Kane number that I said earlier, is that literally no one else did anything. It was all Kane. That's their entirety of their attack.
Yeah, and I mean his 2 goals were taken well, and he did have that other one towards at the end of the game before Newcastle scored the second one. He kind of fell, and he just kind of snatched at it and shot it wide. He scored that goal. We've seen him score that goal before, but I get it that Son didn't play, and Bale healthy didn't play again. He's playing these teams that are just kind of dog, and they're not creating much, and it's the amount of times that Reguilon just fucking drives down unsuccessful. It's like Cedric from Southampton days of just like beats his man, head down, cross to the other team.
Yep.
Rinse, repeat. They just had no ideas, and they've been doing that all year. And I feel like.
And Ndombele was really good.
Yeah, I mean he's really good IRL, but like for fantasy and chances he progresses the pad. But like I'm talking, they're not they weren't creating that much to me, and I'm a little nervous. And Kane is, we saw it with Kane. He just like took the team by the scruff of their neck and just dragged them over to just score 2 goals out of sheer like him being so good. And I just don't really like anyone else outside of Kane the way I've been watching them. And
I know,
dude, Son, like I mean I'm definitely getting rid of Son this week, but. Low-key, Son has been so bad. Like, he has 1 goal in game week 23 against West Brom, and then he has a goal in game week 17 against Leeds. Like,
which barely even counts because it's Leeds. It's West Brom and Leeds are his last 2 goals.
And that's 15 games, basically. He's like going just with 2 goals in 15 games. He looks very, very far off it. Like
starting from game week 12, 18 game weeks, he has a goal against Liverpool, Leeds, and West Brom. That's it. 3 goals.
Yeah, I mean
18 game weeks.
And you saw it like that play at the end, towards the end of the game too. It was just like he could have either scored a goal easily or passed it to Kane for a tap in easily, and instead he just gave the ball away. Like very simple looking at Kane. Hold up, like pass to him in the box for a goal, just fucked it so bad. He's been like that for a long time.
It's just pure blind faith if you go with Son. And there's something to be said for blind faith because we know he's still a really good player.
Yeah.
And
one of the double
Mourinho's such a fucking prick, and he just throws all the players under the bus, like as if there's anything a manager could do to make a team play better. There's nothing possible. But we've seen that happened before, and then Spurs respond with a good attacking performance. No one would be surprised if some like started going on a good run, and I'm not going to say it's a bad thing to own him in the double, but like, I definitely don't feel good about them now. Some may say he's out of form, and
out of form. They do play Southampton in the double.
Yeah, I mean,
which we know what happened in the reverse fixture.
I still think benching him and starting him in the double is probably my favorite of all of the options.
I haven't even considered that.
I think
I didn't even think of that as a thing that you can do.
Yeah, if you can.
I might have to fucking click some buttons and play around with that.
Yeah,
if I
think
do that.
I think you do. But otherwise, no. I mean, listen, their defense is really fucking bad. Like, I had Riggs for a period. They have bad players, and
he keeps playing Sanchez.
Well, and
won't not start him. He plays the worst ones.
Like, if you're gonna, there was a really good Goodman article on CBS about Mourinho just being bad, and it's just he still plays, and he did the same with United. With bad defenders, he still plays as defensively as like the elite Chelsea teams, and it's like no, like the strength of the Spurs team is the attackers. It's like they should be scoring 4. They should be winning like 4-2. That should be a Spurs game this season. Like
3-1, 3-2.
Yeah, like that should be like what they go for. Is sell out for attack, do enough in defense. Hugo's still really good and win. But instead he still just plays like we're going to win 2-0, 1-0 every game.
And they can't.
They just can't. They blow all these fucking leads.
Functionally can't do it.
So bad.
It's really frustrating. Yeah, he's rough. He's been really rough this year.
He's just a dinosaur. He's been bad for a long time, honestly.
Yeah, okay.
Anything to be said about Chelsea? I mean, we didn't get questions about them, but they just got fucking spanked 5-2. I don't know. I mean, like Aspel being like nailed in my wild card. Do you think that's crazy?
No, I think. Well, I mean, we're going to see obviously a reaction. Midweek they have the Champions League game. I think this is, if you talk about a trap game, I mean, they get players coming back late. He's still been very unsettled in the team. They probably been Yeah, they've had injuries, but they're probably like, and no Conte, it's actually a really big deal, but they're probably like 50-50 looking at West Brom and looking at the midweek game when they come back, you know, a couple days
at
before.
Most 50-50. Like.
Yeah, I mean, this is the game, you know, these are the games that just post-international break that just happen. I think you just throw it out the window. I think and, you know, Till coming in there for 20 minutes and just giving up goals and red cards like he's never played football before was
awful too.
Zuma was awful. I mean, there were a lot of bad individual performances in that game that you could point to, but, you know, we'll see them have the reaction midweek. But I do feel like, you know, the Conte injury isn't nothing. It's definitely something that you need to consider because Jorginho is also, I mean, unbelievable. He was so horrific. The amount of turnovers, the limited.
He's going to have one of the worst, like, what's the opposite of a highlight reel?
Low light reel?
Yeah, like, it's not blooper reel, but it's sort of a blooper reel. Like, he's going to have one of the worst in, like, Premier League history. Because, like, when he looks bad...
Is bad.
It's like so bad. Like he falls really flat on his fucking stupid face.
Like Milivojevic did today.
Yeah, actually, exactly like Milivojevic.
The lows are very low.
The lows are so low. Yeah. I kind of feel bad for him, but fuck.
Oh, I definitely don't. He's such a nightmare. He's fucking scum.
But yeah, maybe if
anyone who does the hop on the penals, I just don't like that. Do not like that.
If Conte's out, maybe I should reconsider like Aspel being nailed in my team. Honestly.
Well, I mean, this is going to be also, I guess, talking about this inflection point because we've been watching football for months and being like, all these teams are fucking bad. All the games are bad. True. No one's scoring. Everything's bad. And then we have international break and it's like 2-4, 5-2, 3-3, 1-3, 2-1. Like there are 2 clean sheets all fucking game week.
And there were City and Liverpool.
Do you subscribe to, you know, fast and loose chaos for the rest of the season? Or is it just like, oh, everyone had fun for a week and then it's going to regress back to what we were watching? Because maybe that depends, I think, on what formation do you want to play. Like, do you want to go, you know, 3-4-3, 3-5-2, or do you want to go heavier at the back and play more defenders?
That's
I think is something really you have to consider.
Interesting, good point by you. And one that I haven't considered at all because really, except for the Champions League teams and Europa League teams, the rest of the season is totally normal. It's just a week off between every game. Yeah. Like, there's no fucking clusterfuck madness, 2 days off shit anymore. And, you know, once you get out of the teams that are in Champions League and Europa League, like, most of those teams didn't have many international players. That they all got a break, which they all fucking needed. Yeah, that's it. That's something I should definitely consider. Yeah, maybe this is going to be the turning point to, like, the bottom 14 teams like scoring and being better. And there was a lot, like just Liverpool, for example, like they haven't pressed like that since the first month of the season. Like they pressed the shit out of Arsenal, like counter press like nuts. Like it was just, they needed a break, you know? Yeah.
And you know, it's getting also to the business sense. So, you know, it's also worth looking at who's going to be beaching and who's not. You know, you got to consider those teams. And, you know, as we've seen every year, teams on the beach means fast and loose football, right?
Yeah, true.
So maybe we're going to start, you know, maybe it's just like there are going to be some goals and maybe it's time to just go back to 3 at the back for you on Wildcard. And
the highest scoring is always the 2 teams with nothing to play for facing off.
Right.
That's the highest.
So I mean, maybe
it's
just it's as simple as like Trent, Diaz, Aspil, you know, 4-5-4-5.
So my defenders are only teams that have a lot to play for, which means like maybe Diaz shouldn't be nailed in my team. Honestly, he's gonna get rotated too, and then
could do.
That's interesting. Anything else, or you want to go to questions?
Yeah, let's do questions. Are we already doing questions?
No,
I feel like this happens every pod also.
Just play along.
Go. Just fun.
Just
paid actor.
So Dan Naylor said, everyone wants to just have max X-Joy, but with a mere 15 points, often being 100k arrow in either direction. Who's the most boring and safest midfielder for the run-in?
Just play along. Just play along.
So who's
Mo.
It's Mo and Bruno, I guess.
I don't think Bruno's safe because I think he's been actively bad for fantasy for like a couple months.
But it's safe because everyone still owns him.
It's not good.
It's not good.
Wasn't it good and safe or just safe?
Oh, maybe it was. Let me.
If it's just safe, then sort by percent ownership or whatever.
It's boring and safest. So yeah, percent ownership. That's boring. Yeah, fuck.
That's the answer. What I guess it's not Mo. It's probably like Gundo. I guess is still probably really high, or I don't know. Let's see.
Highest on midfielders are Bruno, Son, and Gundo, and then Mo.
So there you go.
Yeah, Bamford, Kane, DCL, Bruno, Son, Gundo, Mo, Cresswell, Dallas, Diaz, and Stones. Easy to.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think I like maybe like 3 of those players.
I know, right? It's like out of my wild card, I have like 4 of those max.
Kane, Mo, maybe City defender out of that group is what I would actually want.
I haven't considered not having Diaz, but maybe I
think that's a little bit extra overthinking. Unless if you're going full fucking fuckfest mode and you're tripling attack, which I don't mind. Like if you're going Kev,
Mahrez,
Jesus, Mahrez.
I can't get
Kuhn. That's too. I mean, you know what you're doing if you're doing that. But
so psycho.
I think going going a couple attackers there is an option because it's the same kind of premise of they're going to be benched and blah blah blah.
Right, dude. I've had Diaz for so long.
Yeah, I think like game week 7 or something. You got him right.
I got him. Game week 7.
There you go.
Holy shit.
Good player.
Yeah, he was 5'5", now he's 6'1".
Yeah.
A lot of action.
Yeah.
Elf, how badly do you think the Rice injury nukes West Ham assets?
Fucking another planet of nuking. Like, they were absolutely disgusting today. I think that they're
defensively or attacking?
Everything. I don't want to be anywhere near them. I have no idea what they're going to do.
I don't agree. I don't think the attack was that bad. I mean, if Antonio and Rice are out, it gets worse. But I think the attack was okay.
I think Wolves flattered them like insane.
Maybe
insane amount of flattery.
Wolves have still been mostly pretty tight.
They've been good, but they were not good today. Like they were just getting ripped apart.
Wolves were really fucked up. They had no Bowley, 4 at the back, Semedo. That's fair. But like, there's a lot of bad
They were
teams.
countered on like 4 times in the whole game, and they conceded 3 goals. Yeah. And like it was just disgusting countering. But I'm it's so untrustworthy right now with West Ham to me because I thought Masuaku is like, I mean, I love him. He's always good to me, but like Soupy Boy was a little bit lost, like kind of coming back and forth. And like, I feel like he was of 2 minds a lot. Yeah. I mean, like Noble, it's just, dude, Noble's horrendous. He's not a Premier League player.
Not going to get a counter argument from me there, but I still think the attack was like mostly pretty good. Like Bowen got in there a lot.
I'm just concerned, dude. I mean, but the thing is like Lingard just like.
Defensively though, I'm out. I'm so out.
Yeah.
So fucking out.
Yeah. They should have conceded 5 today.
Second half especially was just like...
It was nuts.
An onslaught. Filva's fucking actually good.
I've been... Yeah.
It's just... Like, he's not getting enough credit because he only has like 3 goals or whatever, but he's fucking 18 and just got to the country. For an 18-year-old... He's legitimately insanely like intelligent. His movement is so nuts.
It's so good. There's a player in there, dude. He's fucking good.
I thought it was just money laundering that move.
No, he's very good.
He's actually like extremely promising.
He's a very, very good player. He's going to fit in very well. He's definitely going to be Jim heir apparent. He just needs more seasoning.
Yeah, and he already has the size, his frame too for an 18-year-old. He looks like a man aside from his hair and baby face.
Yeah, his movement, hold up is just he's great. He's so good.
He's really good, and Neto's really good. They have a lot of good young pieces.
Yeah, Potencia looked back to his old tricks.
0.45. That's what like really good players do.
Yeah, that's like Raz and whatever.
It's
good
fucking
players.
Crazy. Fucking filth.
Potencia is back to his old tricks too.
Yeah,
he was lively and doing all the things. It's so fun.
Love him. Love that little shit. Bry said, given how tired guys are, is there a case for using less minutes played as a kind of tiebreaker when you're making transfers? Like Trezeguet versus Watkins, Jota versus Mo, Raff versus Bamford, etc.
Yeah, that's quite the thought. I mean, no.
It's an interesting theory. I don't fucking hate it. I mean,
it just doesn't make sense. Like, you don't need to apply a rule there, right? It's just like, who should I get, A or B?
Yeah, but it's something worth considering. Maybe on Wildcard, maybe I should think about that. Like, this guy's fresh, whatever.
I think that's a little bit too nuts for me.
Yeah. Soton sponsors Shaw, still a good option. Spurs versus United can easily be 0-0.
Yeah, was never an option.
I still think he's a good option, honestly.
Terrible pick.
If Nate got
he will hurt you. He will hurt you.
That I fully agree with as well.
He will fucking hurt you.
There will be pain. But when you least expect it, against City is going to pop up with the 14-pointer, and it's just
the thing with Shaw that's like, oh my god, Shaw's so good. Like, people start talking about Shaw and shit.
Yeah,
and he just he returns like and me. Like, that's when he's so good. He's just like a very fine average pick, and he's just never like. I mean,
he's
isn't
creating
like
a lot of chances. I think he is having like a big bounce back year.
No, But it's like they don't keep that many clean, so it's like, oh, he gets a 6 point. Oh, they don't keep a clean, he gets assists. Oh, he gets like 5. It's they get a clean, like yay, like 6 points.
If he
it's
was
just like he's fucking Luke Shaw. It's like it's not a big deal,
9 cleans. Yeah,
there's so many defenders that are just same,
Soton sponsor again. I'm looking at drop Rafinha with these upcoming fixtures, but for who? Gundo versus Leeds, is that an option? I put this question because I think a lot of people have Rafinha and a lot of people have Bamford, and they should probably get rid. I mean, do you still feel strongly that like those are just bad picks now with these 3 fixtures? Sort of 4 fixtures if you include Brighton.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think it's something that if you can bench for City especially, but even a home Liverpool, they could score a couple there. Mm-hmm. I feel like Rafinha definitely seems like 1A to Bamford 1B at this point, based on how they've looked and how they played the last few game weeks.
Rafinha's past him.
That's what I'm saying. Rafinha 1A, Bamford 1B. Rafinha, everything just goes through him, and Bamford just we've been seeing that all season. Like, he just goes missing in some games. He's kind of like a DCL-ish kind of player to me, where he needs the chance to kind of be created on the silver plate. I mean, he had that hat trick in like game week 6 against Villa, where he has really scored a couple worldies all by himself. Yeah, his movement's really good and stuff, but he's not. He goes missing sometimes, and Rafinha's just been a lot more consistent lately. Yep. So I think I think getting rid of Bamford's okay, but also holding him just based on the way that they play, right? I mean, at City, you throw that game out, that's awful. But, Manchester United home, I mean, it's too bad it's home and not away because of the pitch, but, Liverpool home.
I mean, United last time they played, right? They get destroyed. Everyone should probably captain Bruno that week, but they still scored 2 goals, and Rafinha got 2 assists.
Right.
It's like,
I mean, you don't love it, but I think then it gets better towards the end, and they're still just running at teams nonstop, wide open. Like, they're not going to park when they're up 1-0,
Yeah.
So you have to also question, what's the rest of my team look like? Who am I getting instead? Is this really upgrading my team for the medium term to the end of the season? And I think that those questions might surprise you when you really just stack it up against who you're getting in, because they're still an open team, and they're still going to score goals from here till game 30.
It's very, very borderline impossible to imagine them like blanking 3 straight.
Yeah,
with just how much they attack and how much they shoot and stuff. Like, I feel like that hasn't happened this season. Like, I don't know.
No, that's tough. Yeah, no. I mean, and if they do, though, I mean, this would be probably the run. I mean, City, Liverpool, Man United are tough, but yeah, I don't think it's like a fire sale though.
Right.
Rafinha's fucking 5'5".
I know.
People have him at 5'3",
so
5'2". It's like, is that really the spot? Like, I must sell Rafinha. It's like, dude, who the fuck are your other 14 players or whatever? You know?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards not owning either, but it's something I have to think about.
It's a different call.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's totally a different call. But when you're looking at one transfer a week, it's
Yeah. And then Elf again, last question. He said, this one's just for you. This is purely for you. He said, why does Roy hate Mateta and Bats? What's wrong with him?
Well, I mean, Bats is bad, so it makes sense to hate Bats. But Mateta, I don't know. Benteke is just very confounding because we keep seeing him play these flashes. Like today, he played a really good first half, and then he kind of went missing in the second half, subbed, and we immediately just looked so good. I don't know why he's so like committed to these players. Like, I mean, obviously the training, he puts a lot into training, I think, and you know, like if they understand where they're supposed to be on the pitch or something, but he doesn't see it pragmatically from like a longer term view of like, okay, our season's over. This player's out of contract. We're not going to renew him. And there's no upside with seeing like, oh, he can stay in this box on the pitch for 90 minutes really well and head it down to our on runners really well. But
who's Jordan?
We have this. Yeah, who's going to do nothing with the pitch? I mean, that's another conversation. But when we get a player in like a Mateta who could be, you know, someone who's in our team for 5 years or more, why he doesn't give them an opportunity? Probably because he's like, I'm going to be dead in 5 years, so I don't care. Like, I don't know.
Oh my God, that's terrible to say.
But that's the thing is, it's like there's no logical sense of like outside of like maybe we'll get an extra 80 grand if we finish 12th instead of 13th, like whatever the fuck. But where these minutes of like no pressure, doesn't matter what happens on the result standpoint is gold dust for a team like Palace. Yeah. And we don't want to be betting a player like Mateta in game week 1 next year when those, you know, it's a new year and we could fucking shit the bed and be fucked.
Yeah.
We have 8 games. Like we've basically we've been in this place for the last 15 games since we got him. And it's just really bad management. You know, it's just bad, like just team structural
even if
bad
Mateta's
management.
Terrible. You should find out now. Find out when you're safe. Don't find out when you need the points.
Exactly. Yeah. And he's been anything but terrible. Like the Brighton game, he was amazing. Yeah. And when he's been given a chance, he's been really good. He's had 3 starts or 2 starts, you know, Leeds, Brighton, like, and then he's just like no show, no sub, and now he's like Keenan Davis. Like he plays 10 minutes a game. Yeah. And it's just disappointing. It's just upsetting and disappointing, you know, watching us play and not having him getting opportunities because, you know, the loan to buy, the buy is not a lot of money. And, you know, you want to also impress yourself to the player because we were not like, no one wanted him. Like he was a very hot commodity. And the only reason really that we got him was because he was having like, you know, kind of behavioral issues with Mainz.
Fell out with the coach or something.
Yeah, but he's like a French national, like he's a fucking
He had 7 goals in 1,000 minutes in the Bundesliga before
with like bottom 3 team. Like it sucks. It fucking sucks so much. And it's not going to change. So that's what's going to happen until the end of the year. And it just sucks. That's life. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, that concludes our question. Sorry to end on that note. Fucking Palace spot out here. Let's go to our teams and shit. So I'm wildcard, whatever. We can probably skip it. What are you looking at for your team?
Well, I was like,
you saved, so you have 2 frees, right?
I have 2 frees, yeah. So I'm obviously Antonio's gone. I was looking at Son. I was going nuts about getting rid of Antonio before he got hurt. So you knew that was happening.
I think honestly, every year that happens at least once.
Whenever I get him,
about getting rid of Antonio.
I want to get rid of Antonio as soon as I get rid of him.
As we've established many times this season, you love getting players that you hate.
Yeah, he's not my guy. He's never been. Yeah. So he's gone. And then I'm looking at, you know, Souček issue because I keep getting bench players in.
Right.
Son maybe an issue. Stones maybe an issue. I've got issues. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I need the midweek
Son
games.
is an issue if you just bench him. I mean, he's going to play, worst case, and then he has a double. That to me, that's not an issue. You know, maybe you got rid of him in the blank. Because then
he's an issue because I want like Jota and shit. So I need to get rid of some players to get some players. You know, got to give to get.
Right. As the expression goes. Well, so Smith Rowe, might just be actually hurt. What do you think about Rudiger? A lot of people have Rudiger. Like every time, are you ready to fuck him off, or is it like?
I'm the most opposite of that. Like
every time he's like
every time he doesn't play them, they look so bad.
Yes, he's fucking really good.
That's all I watch. I watch them anytime he doesn't play. They're so much worse.
Okay, what about if he doesn't start in Champions League?
I don't know, dude.
That would be really bad. That would be.
I don't
really
think that's
bad.
possible. I can't compute that as an option, so I don't want to entertain it right now. Well, then we'll talk about it on my life.
Okay, we'll talk about it when we need to talk about it.
Because I just couldn't imagine a world where that happens. I frankly cannot.
Yeah. Okay, and then you have Smith Rowe, who's hurt, and also Europa League rotation, whatever. You do have a lot of going on. You have a tough calls to make.
I want
the two frees. I don't know what you're going to do.
I'm just telling you what I want.
What do you want?
Kuhn.
Oh, God.
I want him. I think you just can't not want him.
I'm sorry to be the mom right now, but I think you just can't have him. Like the surgery that you have to do to get Kuhn is so insane.
Yeah? Can't have him? I could easily get him with a few clicks. Stones out, Son out, Antonio out, Kuhn in, Friends
just go
in.
Kane to Kuhn. Easy.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, dude. I'm thinking about Robbo. I'm thinking about Jota. I'm thinking about Kuhn. I'm thinking about Jesus. Honestly, I'm thinking about Mahrez. I'm thinking about
You're thinking about City and Liverpool. How it always should be.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting a little bit out on Stony Dimes.
Yeah, well, you told me about that.
Yeah,
which does upset me a little bit, but I understand. Yeah. He really has been like every other game for a while now.
Dude, for like a while.
Yeah, since game week 24 double.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Last 12 games, he's started 6 of them. Or 7. 7 starts, 5 bench, last 12.
Yeah.
Not good.
And before that, we should start every game.
Yeah, because they needed to win the games. And we should expect more of the same for the next 6, it's tough.
Yeah,
what am I looking at having and you say he's 6+ points. I mean, that's tongue in cheek. He's a center back and he scored 0 goals in his fucking actual entire career in the Premier League, and he has 4. So let's relax on that a little bit.
He's reborn. What can I say? He's the Lingard of City, basically. The fucking shitty-ass English player who's all of a sudden really good. Right, I don't know.
So it's a mess over here. So my life will be good. Midweek will be good.
Yeah. Champions League's going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Very excited. Do you have a team fantasy? Champions League fantasy? Like, are you set to go? Jeff was saying that like 10 of his players are eliminated.
I wildcarded. Yeah, no, I think I had 4 players left. So I click wildcard and I put in new players, but I have to look at it. I did it like I have to look at it again.
Okay. Yeah, you have a little bit of time. And then captain this week?
Well, it's got to be a City player. We got to see who plays midweek, but I
honestly think I'm going to get whoever like doesn't start in Champions League and captain them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at Kev,
Gundo, or Kuhn, Mahrez, Jesus, Raz. I'm going to get one of those at least.
Yeah. Like I want
Foden, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's a remote chance that Kuhn starts midweek, and I don't like a Leeds game for him because I really
don't like that.
But I want to just like Kuhn cap Kev Vice and just like hopefully it works.
Let me remind you what he said. He said, next game, we're going to play fresh legs. And against Leeds, more than ever, fresh legs. Kuhn's legs haven't been fresh for like 4 years.
Yeah. Pep says a lot of shit, though. So.
He does say a lot of shit. Yeah, he does.
Don't know. But I mean, it feels pretty insane to not captain a City attacker this week. Home Leeds is just actual dreamland.
Yeah, I don't know Leeds' record off the top of my head against the top 6 or whatever, but I guarantee you it's an abomination.
They concede goals.
Yeah,
I can't guarantee you they concede goals.
Who other than a City attacker?
Well, they 0-0 Chelsea, but that was a really weird game. Arsenal 4, Leicester 3. I know they won that game. Spurs 3, they gave up 3. Man United 6. 3-1. I don't know. It's whatever.
Liverpool 4.
Yeah.
Who other than a City attacker though? That's a hard one.
If you're not on that,
if you just have one free transfer and it's people can't necessarily make the luxury move of like Kev to Raz if they have other shit to deal with.
Oh, rats. What?
I don't know. If he doesn't start in Champions League, I'm definitely captaining him.
Raz?
If he doesn't start in Champions League...
Dude, he hasn't started in the league in like 5 games.
If he doesn't start in Champions League, I'm captaining him. That's the logic I'm forced by Pep to go with.
Oh, no. Okay. Oh, well, we'll talk on my life. I will try and talk you out of that. That sounds insane to me. I mean, I like Trent a lot.
Yeah, Trent home Villa. No, Jack still. Yeah, they're just so
Jack probably won't play until 2023 or so at this rate, based on Dino's quotes.
Yeah. Yep. I mean,
Leicester. You know, I mean, if you're a little bit perverse, I don't hate like a Vardy shout based on what West Ham are up to today. Like, it's a little punty.
Yeah, Arsenal's very punty, but Sheffield are fucking bad. There's honestly like
Ings.
I was gonna say like Wood. Burnley have been fucking free flowing attacking.
Wood's on fire.
On actual fire in their home Newcastle.
Oh my god, is it Wood time?
Yeah.
Game week 1 precog time?
Redders,
Wood, DCL.
Redders as West Brom.
Greenwood. Is it time to go Foden?
Greenwood.
Saka. Is it time to go full precog?
That would be funny. I wonder, that team's probably doing better than us.
No question. Wouldn't take much.
Yeah.
Wood's got 3 and 3.
It's a really tough cap if you don't go City, which is also a punt and tough cap because it's City. So it's just a tough week all in all. Yeah.
Mo, I don't like the Mo cap here at all.
No, I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously Spurs Man United is a total throwout. You can't consider that. Yeah, I mean, I think you're just punting and having fun if you're not going on a City guy.
I think so
basically.
Too. I think so
you just go with your gut there.
So basically, no matter what, it's a punt. Because Kev's going to play in Champions League.
Yeah. Is he going to play 3 in a week? He's done it before.
But probably not, though.
How could he not play Kev against Leeds when he needs control, though? He just doesn't care?
Because he'd rather protect his best player and try and go for a quadruple.
So you think it'd go like a Bilv in midfield with like...
Yeah, Bilv, Gundo, Rodri or something.
No Kev, yeah, that's possible.
Foden, done it a couple times. I don't know. Let me slap ass is just the one new sign up this week. Jonah Baldwin Garrick or Jarek. Good job by you. Slip that ass get in there. And that's it. Any last words?
Can't wait for Euros, man.
Dude, we've been tightening it up. Under an hour every pod.
And we figured out a new thing today that...
Oh, yeah, we have to, like, say the thing we're talking about, not assume that they're a fucking freak on their computer, like, looking up everything we're talking about while we're talking. Yeah. I mean, that's a good thing.
Good. That's a good thing to know. It only took us 400 episodes.
Yeah.
We're getting better. We're improving.
Always improving. What more can you ask for? Check us out at FMLField.com. Follow us on Twitter at FMLField, sportsfeature.com/FMLField. Subscribe, rate, review, cheers!